It's going to be fun. It's at that little loop at West Pulaski Park. We don't actually know how long it is. We think it's like maybe half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. It's not super long, but it's targeted for the kids. We want the kids to come dressed like superheroes. They're just going to make that little loop. If parents have kids that aren't runners, they can push them in the stroller. You can still dress them up. It's really fun. But our fundraising model is such that you can have people pay for your team to participate. So it's $35 per runner. That's what the minimum is per runner to get the shirt per runner. But have you guys done like the polar plunge?
Yep.
Yes.
So like they give you a link and you share that link and like your friends and family can be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Sure.
I'll help you raise money for this. So even if you feel like you can't do the $35 because we're all families and we're all dealing with inflation right now.
Yeah.
So we get that, right? I have 4 kids, so I'm really bad at math. What is that, like $140 for all 4 of my kids to participate? I already created my link. I need to post it because I don't know what our team name is going to be.
Sure.
But we're going to post that, and this way, even my family, like I'm from Omaha, so even my family in Omaha can be like, I know that Amber really wants this to happen. I'm going to donate $5 to this project. So, and then they can run, and it's just going to be a fun day. We're working on getting just some extra fun activities to do. There's going to be an opportunity to have some lunch, just an excuse to get out and go do stuff and have fun.
This is the Buffalo Community Podcast, all about the greatest small town in the USA, the people in it, and how it all works together. Here are your hosts, Tyler Reese and Mark Benzer.
Hey everybody, we've got Amber with us and actually let's call it the splash pad for Andrew on this episode of the Buffalo Community Podcast, and we're going to learn a little bit about this movement, a little bit about Andrew, and kind of where we're at and where you guys are at and how maybe the community can help. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and then what brought us here today?
Awesome. Hi, my name's Amber. I'm not really even sure what to tell you about myself because I was prepared to come talk about Andrew today. Yeah. I'm actually a resident of Rockford. I moved here from Omaha like 7 years ago and met these amazing people through Mom's Club Buffalo Rockford Delano. And one of my very favorite people in the whole world has this amazing little boy named Andrew. And I got to spend some awesome summers with him. But unfortunately, he passed away because he had a really long battle with brain cancer. And we just want to do a splash pad in memory of him because he really loved to splash in puddles.
So one, I think we can cheers Andrew. I mean, it's always tragic to hear anybody that passes away, then especially a young person. So, our hearts go out to the family and everybody whose lives he's touched, and hopefully we can spread the word and the efforts here to keep it in his memory. I've heard a couple of the background stories of some of the efforts that are being made of bringing a splash pad into Buffalo. It's not as easy as, people just saying, yeah, we want that, right?
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the process, how it's been going and where we're at.
So a couple of years ago, I reached out, and I've been working with Lee Ryan at the City Council. He's head of Parks and Rec, and we started with, what is this going to look like? What do we need? Where can we do it? I pitched West Pulaski Park because it's an amazing park. It's I feel like as a parent, we went there a lot. I spent a lot of time there with Andrew, but I feel like it maybe isn't utilized as much as it could be. So we were like, this is a perfect spot. We can bring more families into this beautiful park space that we have that already exists. And so we went, they had somebody come in and do like a survey and create some mock-ups of what a splash pad there might look like.
Sure.
So that was our first step. I went to the park board and presented to them because they have to vote on whether or not this is a project that they want to back. And then it was unanimous. They all loved the idea. I think for the most part, everybody agrees that all the cities around us are getting splash pads, so Buffalo needs a splash pad.
Yeah.
And not just like, the water feature kind of splash pad like we have downtown, but something with actual like playground type.
Almost a pool, almost. I mean,
yeah.
Right? I mean, I've seen what Delano has. I've seen, some of,
If you've been to Delano, that's exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of fun water features that spray out. It would be enclosed so that it's, that you don't have to worry about the kids running into traffic, that kind of thing. Yeah. So a little bit safe.
Animals using it.
That still might happen.
Yeah.
Like a giraffe.
Yeah. Ooh, there you go. Add that to your list of things.
Can we please have a giraffe?
Yeah. So they've given the approval of saying, hey, what can we do? And there's a lot of steps.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps.
And then let's just fast forward to the fundraising part. That's kind of like, there's a lot of boxes already checked, but the biggest one is getting it paid
raising
for.
Funds. Yeah. So, okay, we went through all the processes. We have been working with Aquatics in Delano with Landscape Structure, so a local company, to come up with the design. They obviously sell the pieces. We have our target, like this is how much this is going to cost. We have some, like if we need to step it back, this is what that would cost, but we're going for the big shebang. Like we want whatever is going to be there to be amazing.
Yep. What is that cost?
I think the total for the project's right around $1 million.
Sure.
My portion, though, what I'm responsible for raising personally is $240,000.
Okay.
So it's definitely a big sum for. There's 5 people on my team. I'm going to use quotes because, I mean, we're just parents that loved Andrew and are volunteering to try to make this happen. So there's like 5 of us that are going out and talking to businesses. We have some businesses that have already agreed to sponsor pieces. So like they are purchasing the piece that we need and like it'll have their name that it was sponsored by them.
Sure.
So that's awesome. We're doing some activities like this fun run that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. So once we went to the city, we had to have the city approval. So it was like lots of approval steps. Mm-hmm. And then a year ago, we got all the approvals done and we have been fundraising since then. But again, there's 5 of us and we're all very, very busy. I don't know about you, but I have 4 kids, so there's not a lot of time to do stuff. I know I substitute teach and I volunteer for too many things. Basically. So like we go when we can to try to get the word out and approach businesses individually, but also this is going to be a community build. This is something that's going to take all of Buffalo. Every dollar is going to count. So we did, Jeremy at Culver's, for example, he let us do a like Dine for a Cause night where they donate a portion of the portion.
He's fantastic at that.
He's so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we did that and he's actually going to let us come back and do it again. So that'll be coming up in the next couple months. I'll be sure to post that on the community page when it happens. Mm-hmm. But every time you do something small like that, you might be thinking, oh, I only have $5 that I can donate. But if everybody gave $5, that's a huge sum towards what we need to raise.
Yep. So the gap between the 240 and the $1 million, I mean, is that where the sponsorships were? Is on the above side, or is that part of your 240?
The sponsorships are part of the 240. There are a lot of different grants that we are applying for, and that the city can apply for that we can't apply for. Okay. So we're working together to fund the rest. There's actually. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about, what I'm not allowed to talk about. You can
talk about anything you want.
No, not for you, like from the city perspective. There's actually a really big DNR grant that we are, that we applied for, well, the city applied for, not me. So I can't, but that we're really hoping we can be approved for because that will go a long way towards what we need to make the splash pad happen.
Sure. So. Well, I think it's important to talk about, especially in this platform, very hyper local. Yeah. It may come into our backyard, where people are like, well, where's the money coming from? Or we don't want to spend. Well, it's not exactly. I mean, they're applying for grants. They're doing it in a very, I would say, I'll say conservative way of instead of just you build it and then we'll figure out the back end of it. Well, no, you're putting everything on the front end. So I think personally looking at it a fiscally responsible way is a good thing.
Yes, it definitely is. That was one of the things we, when we were planning this, we took into account is that we know that people don't want to see any kind of raise on their taxes, or they're very specific about what they're willing to let those taxes go to. So that's not how we want to pay it. Does that mean that's not going to happen and no tax money is going to that? I don't know.
Right.
It really depends on what we need. And where we are, but like I said, we have scale back plans as well. So that's our goal. Our goal is not for this to be something that's a drain on people's pocketbooks.
Yeah.
We also took measures like when we came up with the concept, when we were working with aquatics, we opted to do a recirculatory system. So that's going to use less water. It's a little more expensive initially, but after 5 years, that price difference pays for itself.
Oh, yeah.
So that way, we can still run it in the summer when we're in drought season. It's recirculating that water. It uses a minimal amount to add it up for whatever the evap is.
Sure.
And then also the city, once it's built, the city will actually take obviously it'll be the city will be ownership. So there will be a small fee to get in, but the reason we did that is then it's self-sustaining. So when something breaks, we don't have to ask the city, hey, can we use our tax dollars to fix this?
Right.
And I don't have to go back to companies and say, hey, I know you already donated a ton of money to me, but can you give me more? I don't want to have to do that. So, those are all things that when we were planning this, that we took into account and did our best to make it so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, because it's not every day that you raise $250,000 for a splash pad, and so there's no history. You're learning at this point as well. The entire process.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about the event coming up.
Okay, so we have this, it's called the Fastest Flash Kids Fun Run. Andrew really, really loved Flash, the superhero, so we thought this was appropriate. We do have, I need to get like an FAQ out there or something, but we have, it's going to be fun. It's at that little loop at West Pulaski Park. We don't actually know how long it is. We think it's like maybe half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile. It's not super long, but it's targeted for the kids. We want the kids to come dressed like superheroes. They're just going to make that little loop. If parents have kids that aren't runners, they can push them in the stroller. You can still dress them up. It's really fun. But our fundraising model is such that you can have people pay for your team to participate. So it's $35 per runner. That's what the minimum is per runner to get the shirt per runner. But have you guys done like the polar plunge?
Yep.
Yes.
So they give you a link and you share that link and like your friends and family can be like, yeah, that's awesome.
Sure.
I'll help you raise money for this. So even if you feel like you can't do the $35 because we're all families and we're all dealing with inflation right now.
Yeah.
So we get that, right? I have 4 kids, so I'm really bad at math. What is that, like $140 for all 4 of my kids to participate? I already created my link. I need to post it because I don't know what our team name's going to be.
Sure.
But we're going to post that, and this way, even my family, like I'm from Omaha, so even my family in Omaha can be like, I know that Amber really wants this to happen. I'm going to donate $5 to this project. So, and then they can run, and it's just going to be a fun day. We're working on getting just some extra fun activities to do. There's going to be an opportunity to have some lunch, just an excuse to get out and go do stuff and have fun.
Well, I'm glad it's geared towards kids because I've never had fun running. I don't understand the concept of a fun run. I've just never had it. I'm just not a runner, but I like that. Actually, what's the date again for the fun run?
It's going to be June 3rd.
Okay, yeah, I think my kids have plenty of superhero outfits that they can, costumes, I should say.
I mean, maybe that's the fun for you. Maybe you can run with them. You just have to dress up like a superhero. Yeah. It could be a walk,
kids
fun walk.
Kids could chase you.
Comment below which superhero I should, the Hulk or what is that, Rock? I don't know.
Is he a superhero?
I don't. No, not the Rock. Rock.
The Rock. He kind of is a superhero.
But, I don't
From
know.
Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
That guy. That guy.
Going back to kind of the big project. What's the time frame? Like, when do we have a time that we're looking at, hey, we want this, our vision is to have this built ready for use by this date?
Well, my dream was this summer. but
Yeah.
This summer's never coming.
Well, that's true. This summer is never coming.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
No, our hope would be that it would go in next summer.
Sure.
So, and we have, again, we've been working with aquatics, so we have kind of different timelines with them. We know that there's certain things that we would need to purchase this year because the price is going up on them, and we want to avoid that. So, next summer is our goal, but we can't really move forward with a lot of things because we are doing all the finance stuff on the front end because we don't want it just to be like, oh, hey, you got it right.
Yeah.
So until I hit what I need, we're kind of in the stasis in terms of the build.
Sure.
So
and I'm aware
summer,
of some of those where like even our part of a Rotary group it's like, yeah, this is something we want to be a part of, but just the way the corporate structure of Rotary is, you're not quite there yet for us to be able to put this in because we work on a calendar year of, we know there's some grant money there as well, matching grants, everything like that. So I do know that as soon as you get to a certain point, it does open up some more opportunities to complete the project. So,
but I got to get there.
Yes, but you have to get there. And it's not from a lack of support. It's just, that's what the bylaws say.
And Rotary is so supportive of this. Like everybody that's been part of Rotary that I've had a conversation with. Were you at the meeting? I actually went and presented this last January.
Maybe.
A year and a half ago.
Maybe that's where I first heard it, but then we've been in committee and talking about it.
Awesome.
Is there any link that we can post, or if we made a team of Buffalo Community Podcast with that link, is that something that we can put out there to sponsor a team and people could actually go and donate for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I will get that to you. But otherwise, you can just go to splashforandrew.org, and on the very top right, or if you're on your mobile, in the bottom of the pull-down menu, it says registration, fun run registration.
Okay.
So you click there, you create an account, and then it just walks you through everything.
Sure.
My husband actually built this, and he's not a website builder. He's just a
well, it sounds like he is.
Weird coding nerd.
Yeah.
But it's like, we were like, how are we going to make this work? And he did it. It was amazing and impressive.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
So donating to the fun run is one way, but anybody hearing this, and I'm sure there will be people hearing this going, that's something I want to get behind.
Okay.
Right? How do they get in touch with you or somebody on your team to say, we want to make a substantial donation towards this beyond the 35 or whatever?
So many ways. Am I allowed to give my information out on here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my last name is Zednik, Zednik. You can do amberzednik@gmail.com or admin@splashforandrew.org. Either of those will get to me. If you go to splashforandrew.org, there's a contact us. You can fill that out. You can actually directly donate on splashforandrew.org. But if you want to do something like sponsor a piece, for example, or have a bunch of people sponsor a piece, because some of these pieces are really expensive. Like the bucket dumper, we want a bucket dumper so bad.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So bad, but it's like $45,000.
Sure.
That being said, if you get, 20 businesses that go in on that makes it way more doable, right?
Yeah.
So, and with those sponsorship pieces, there will be a plaque on the actual piece that'll say who contributed to that. So like if you guys had people that you regularly work with or businesses that regularly work together that are like, hey, we want to sponsor this piece, shoot me an email. You can text me. 402-880-5294 is my number. It's kind of weird to put that out there for the whole world, but
I'm going to ask you to just email me some of this information so we can put it in the link as well.
And I will get that email to you as well. Perfect. So we can share it. But so many things, and even individually, like, Culver's does this, the Dine for a Cause. If somebody else was like, hey, let's say anybody who comes shopping today, we're going to donate 10% towards buying a piece. Like, it can be mini fundraisers like that too. Like I said, this is it's going to take all of us to make it happen. But when it's done, not only, for Andrew, for everybody who loves Andrew, that's amazing. But not only is it for Andrew, like it's for our community, for our kids, somewhere where our kids can go. It's great for local businesses because our tax dollars are going to stay right here in Buffalo, right? Right now, if you want to go to a splash pad, you're leaving the city to go. And so I don't know about you, when I go to the splash pad, I usually pick up McDonald's or a pizza.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
Right.
so all those things will stay here. Oh, and I usually forget sunblock, so I have to run into a store to get sunblock.
Yeah.
So
Right.
all of those dollars would leave if we don't have the splash pad. But if we have the splash pad here, they're going to stay here, and it's going to draw people as well. Like West Pulaski Park is like just like a skip away from Monty, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to bring people into the city as well.
Yeah.
So it's just good overall for everybody, for the community, for the young kids, but it's not limited to that either. This will be a fully accessible to everybody splash pad. So if you're an adult and you want to splash, awesome. If you're in a wheelchair and you want to splash, awesome. We're going to make it so that anybody who wants to use this is going to be able to use this.
Bucket dump.
That's
We got to get that bucket dump.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
That'd be really fun. So, well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for letting me come in.
We hope that some of these efforts and hopefully our viewers can help and contribute and participate in this fun run. What's the deadline for signing up again?
So if you want to have your sized t-shirt for the fun run, we need to know what size that is by May 13th. So you need to sign up by May 13th. That being said, you can sign up whenever. You can sign up the day before if you want to.
You just might not get a t-shirt
that fits. That's right.
Yeah. Extra medium for me.
Extra medium.
Double extra medium for me. Yeah. They're all in medium sizes.
That's right.
So, but all right, Luke, tell us your size too.
Yeah.
Is it extra medium again? Yeah. So, well, Amber, thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it, and we hope that we can make this happen or at least be a part of it. But for the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reese.
I'm Mark Benzer.
And I'm Amber Zednick.
Thanks for listening to the Buffalo Community Podcast, produced by Edlin Media. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, as well as anywhere you listen to podcasts.